What's up, everybody? Oh, hold on. Let's get them going. Let's get the podcast crowd. There we go. What's up, everybody? The change up. The change up. We're here to change it up. We're here to talk about changing it up. And a lot of people resist change, but change is everything. Change is what it's all about. Life is about change. Everything's changing. The clouds are moving through the sky. It's changing. Days turning to night. It's changing. Hot's getting cold. It's changing. Change. So for you, you can't avoid change. You can't try to prolong or put off change. When you do that, you're held hostage by life's random events that might have nothing to do with your goal, your personal goal, what you're trying to accomplish. So you can't avoid change. You have to embrace change. And in fact, you have to initiate change. Initiate change. That's the big thing here. That's the change up. Initiate change. You need to be pushing. Like boom. Those who watch us on YouTube, I changed up the view. I changed the camera position. I changed the lens. Hopefully, we've changed up the perspective because we can use the concept of change in everything. And this is generally a health and fitness, performance based channel or content. But that's always predicated upon your lifestyle, your ability to focus on the athletic or the cosmetic, and sometimes even the health side when the rest of your life is chaos and you're a victim to the rest of your life. So the change up is you changing your current views and your current lifestyle and your current approach, your current habits, even your current perspective. Maybe it's your current training program. Maybe it's your current meal plan. Maybe it's your current bulking phase. Maybe it's your current powerlifting fascination. And maybe you need to change it up. You need to change the exercise selection. You need to change the rep range. You need to change the frequency with which you train that movement pattern or that specific muscle or muscle group. Maybe you need to change your carbohydrate intake. Maybe you need to change the quality of carbohydrates that you actually choose. Maybe you need to sleep more. Maybe you need to wake up at a structured time. The change up. So, this is the change, and this is you embracing change, and this is you facilitating a positive movement based upon the goals that you have set for yourself, your expectations. If you listen to my previous week or two of shows, you'll know we spoke quite a bit about expectations and managing your expectations and acting in accordance with achieving or fulfilling your expectations. In the simplest form, that's all we have to do. That's all we're trying to do. And then we can throw the ones and zeros into our calories, our macros, our micros, our training splits, and all the other hogwash, nonsense, mumbo jumbo by comparison. That's like it's not your macros, most of you. It's not your macros. Not your macros are off. That's why you're a fat turd. It's not your macros. It's not an 18% swing between carbs and protein that's adversely affecting your glycogen storage, forcing you to spill over. It's not that horseshit at all. It's just that the rest of your life is typically a mess. That's why you look the way you do, or that's why you're dissatisfied with the level that you're at. And that could be any level, because there's some super shredded people, high level achieving, super achieving athletes and humans that are dissatisfied with where they're at, more so than the morbidly obese person. There's almost a bliss in that. So this conversation here is about the change up. I want to get you guys to think here. We will throw in the ones and zeros of the protein and the ratios and the glycolytic and the sacroplasmic hypertrophy and all the fun stuff. um, down the road. But if you don't have the basic concept of facilitating change, of the whole part of this being change, you're actually creating a scenario to bring about a known response or adaptation, right? So when we talk about change, and the motivation for this conversation was, change is essentially, it's just new stimuli, right? It's our adaptation to new stimuli. And if we can control what we're adapting to, or what we're responding to, what we're reacting to, if we can curate a lifestyle or a set of circumstances that are in line with us achieving the expectation of our goal set, our goal system, and we're living a life through exposure of things that will stimulate us by adaptation through change, more in line with that goal. That's the easy of what we're doing. For those who get that deeper picture, it's kind of bigger picture, conceptually, but it's very granular in real world application. Most people jump over that, and they go straight to the ones and zeros of the rep ranges and the all of that. um, so those of you on YouTube, let's answer some questions. And those of you in podcast land, you got to be on YouTube also. This show airs live on YouTube, and I answer your questions. I do my best to answer every question that comes in after I go on my little motivational rant or education piece, or pro tip, or whatever kind of information I'm bringing to you guys. Jesus Mora, what's up, Dolce? What's up, Jesus? Or Jesus, I'm sorry, I don't know. Hudson Lund, what's up, Dolce? Good to see you, Hudson. Jesus Zambrano, dos Jesus. Boom. David Bordoin, what's up, man? What's up, David? Seth, what's up, Seth? Good to see you. Peter, Piotr. Agree. I appreciate that. All right, right. Agrees with the topic. Cool. Mr. Russ, what's up, Russell? Good to see you. Unemployed Mario Yamasaki. You don't have a job yet, my man? Come on, Mario, get back to work, homie. Tell me about it. Yeah, the change up. We got to embrace that change. That's what it's about. Change, stimuli. We actually create the scenario. That's all it is. That's all it is. We cultivate. We cultivate the environment. When we work with athletes, why we are the greatest weight management team, athlete performance team, is because it's not the ones and zeros. It's not the chicken breast and the wild caught salmon. It's the not the zero point 0.8 to 1.2 grams of whatever. It's not that. Yeah, that's there. That's a given. That's easy. That's easy. What we do is we cultivate this state of excellence. That's what it is. That's why the Dolce diet is the greatest weight management program ever devised, the most successful ever at the world's greatest levels. We're the only ones with a 100% success ratio. And I say that often, and I say that proudly because it's true. And it needs to be considered when we give you the message, when we share this information, this education, this content, this approach. We're telling you how it's done. Most people, they jump over it. They jump over. That's too simple. That doesn't make sense. They don't know it. He doesn't know. Blah 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 blah. But you can't jump over that specific fact. So when we work with athletes, we cultivate this state of excellence. So the expectation is flawless, perfection, victory, weight management, health. That's the expectation. Our expectation is perfection. We're not mitigating damages. We're expecting excellence, and we create, my team and I, and with certain athletes and certain members of other athletes team, we integrate extremely well in that capacity, and we create this environment of success that everything is controlled stimuli. In a way, we're creating this day, hour by hour, minute by minute, thought by thought, breath by breath. We're creating and cultivating this world-class performance state. With that in mind, it's just simply setting up scenarios, creating stimuli, right? Curating stimuli to bring about a known pattern of responses that are conducive to our expectations, which is our goal. So everything essentially is done and handled. And to because I'm ranting here just a little bit, but it's the concept of change that we were talking about. That's why we're the best at what we do. That's why our system is the best at what it offers. That's why our level of success is greater than anything else and everybody else. And I don't say that because I've created the best. It's just we have a level of awareness that it's very obvious and easy to see that this is the best. That's it. Like that, there is no conversation about it. And too many systems, and I'll close with this: too many systems, too many people, too many brands, too many concepts, too many paradigms try to offer these extreme points of differentiation, and they make it about the ones and zeros to sound different, and that's what factors in success. Now that was very long. Absolutely, there are lots of solid research and anecdotal evidence to support that. Marrow products also excellent. Tony Shades Indoors is yo Dolce. I just rewatched Bektik versus Elkins. Damn, that was a fun. That was a great fight, man. Great. That was the best fight of Mersad's career. That was the most pivotal for sure. And we spoke about that not long after the fight. How that fight will define his career. That fight will allow him to become a champion because he had that fight. He will be able to become a champion having gone through that experience in that fight. Wise Eats, Romanian deadlifts, and Dolce Live. Today's a good day. That is a good day. I like that day. Tyler Rose, notification squad's in the house. Everybody feel free, subscribe to the channel on YouTube. Click on notifications so we know when we're going live. David went to the doctor for a physical, did excellent. He says, I'm in the top 10%. Great job, David. Now let's get to the top 1%, homie. Grind it. Mario, give this man a thumbs up, people. He's always giving us precious knowledge. I appreciate that. If you guys care about the content, just give a thumbs up. Let us know that you're here and you like it. Leave comments once this is posted too. Have you ever studied Paul Check? Absolutely, of course. Very aware of what Coach Paul Check has done and a lot of his content. Not to speak for him. Roman Grant, what's up, Roman? Good to see you. Seth, the change up I need is for it to cool the hell off outside. I'm burning like a politician in church. Seth, I hear you, man. Yeah, it's like 110 degrees every day out here in Vegas for like weeks in a row now. So we're in the fire at the moment. Seth, ready for squats and steak. That's true. Peter, question. Have you ever seen the documentary called Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead? I might have, but I don't recall any of the story or any of the points. But I'm pretty sure. Is that the Michael Moore joint? Nick Morris. What's up, Mike? It's all about keto, brah. It is all about keto. You hardly even ever hear about keto anymore, right? Keto's what? The wave has the best, the most incredible thing ever, the most incredible diet program ever, going to change the world. Just 12 months or so ago is DOA, right? 12 months later, it's not even thought of. It doesn't work. Nobody's doing it anymore, except for a few hardcore holdouts that have their business interests tied to it, exactly like I told you guys 18 months ago, right? Keto crashed on the shores, dead on arrival, just whimpering. The faux fitness frauds have their paddles to keto right now, trying to keep it alive to get a few more margin out of it before it completely washes up. And then they jump onto something else, the newest, best fad short-term exclusionary diet program. Christian, if you worked with Sean O'Malley, would you prefer he went up a weight class as he is quite lanky? It's hard to say. I don't know Sean. I've never actually stood next to him nor had a conversation with him. I do know of his performances, and I think he's an excellent fighter, very athletic, and has the necessary mental toughness, it appears, to back up his ability. So it's hard to say. You look at a Diaz brother. Diaz brothers have done extremely well at what could be considered lighter weight classes for their frame, their height, their reach, their bone structure. But they had more of their success or most of their success down there. That's just an opinion, outside opinion. So, I would certainly come up with, it's all about evaluation though. It's all about the evaluation. You might be able to add muscle to an athlete like Sean O'Malley, add muscle, add strength, increase power to kg ratio, improve energy, move energy patterns, energy requirements, energy systems, improve muscle fiber type, reaction time. Like there's all these things that could be done without gaining a single pound and possibly even losing total body mass. You might be able to swing, and most likely we would look to swing functional body mass versus non-functional body mass, and then possibly keeping a stable total body weight. Christian, if you would answer that. Jimmy, substitute hemp, sub for hemp seed. Don't want to pop hot in the government job. Thanks you, Jimmy. Jimmy, yeah, chia seed or flaxseed. I know some people have restrictions on hemp seeds. They can't take them for drug testing purposes, which is interesting. Insane. Alf Graham, yo, Mike, 14 pounds down in 2 weeks using the Dolce principles. Fell off the wagon for a while, but back on it. Boom. 14 pounds down in 2 weeks. following our program. 14 pounds down in 2 weeks, following our principles. 14 pounds down in 2 weeks, back on the wagon, getting after it again. Eating real food with great variety, happily eating till satisfied, not until full, right? Not overeating, not under eating for sure, not eating an exclusionary, crazy exclusionary dietary patterns, not eating like that. Just a few little things. I can only eat 4 basic things a day every single day. Not doing that weirdness, eating real food. I'll say it. You created the best. Seth, appreciate that. Peter, my other question, what's the best way to deal with imbalanced muscles? Unilateral training, training one side and the other side typically works very well. I would suggest you get a hands on practitioner to work with. I would actually suggest you even go to a doctor. You should go to a doctor and get a complete medical checkup, get a wellness test, get your blood work done. Also, you can look for possible nerve damage. I do know, and many of you know individuals. Lee Priest, I believe, in the bodybuilding world is going through it. From the UFC world, going through nerve damage and atrophy on one side, typically one leg. It was probably a 2-inch difference between his arm circumference. It was now he's ripped. I mean, it's insane that the shape Boss Rutan is in right now. Very lean, very vascular, very fit. Function didn't seem to suffer, but from a symmetry perspective, a muscular imbalance, um, it's noticeable. So and that's a nerve issue. So you might want to get that stuff. And I always suggest you should be going to your doctor every 3 months for complete wellness checks, checkups, blood work. Make good friends with your doctor. So all this stuff really it gets covered at the most important, the medical level. So you're always on track. From a health perspective, longevity perspective, and then you can do the performance stuff for fun. What else we got? And Dan answered that. My other question: what's the best way to do it? Got that? I'll say answered that. Eddie Gonzalez, how do you keep muscle mass when you also train jujitsu? Any pre and post BJ rolling or recovering meals? Well, it all comes down to volume and intensity and periodization and total calorie intake. Are you eating enough calories to properly repair all the damage you're doing to all your training and then have a surplus to rebuild on top of that? Are you getting enough sleep, rest, recuperation to allow that type of muscle growth to even happen and be possible? um, are you stimulating it properly with your strength training? You might be strength training in a manner that does not induce muscle growth, and that happens quite a bit. People they're training hard. I just can't gain any muscle. Well, they're training improperly to gain muscle. They're training maybe something completely outside of muscle. Um, so to answer your question, if you're trying, you have to really pick what's your number one goal. If your number one goal is to gain muscle, then I would think about maybe doing some maintenance BJJ for a while, maybe only drilling like seminar speed, only pick up some techniques and some habits that you just go like 30%. You're not going to the 5x5 live hard rolls. That's a crazy squat workout. That's a crazy CrossFit workout. Yeah, that's a crazy workout when you're training harder in jujitsu, full body too. Hard to recover from, and you're tearing those muscles down. The muscles, they're not going to grow. So maybe you just you get some rep time in, and you add new tools to your game while you're going through a muscle growth phase, and that's where the intensity goes. And then you can back cycle. You can get more into the jits and have more of a strength maintenance program because you added that new muscle. And there's lots of ways to do it. um, Nick Mars, Mike, how important are fermented foods and gut bacteria to you? um, it's important. It's for sure important. But I think there's an overestimation of how effective it is. You can't eat fucking hot wings once or twice a week and then just eat some kimchi and think you're good. Drink a kombucha, get some probiotics, and think you're good. It's not going to happen. It's bullshit. So, yeah, it's good. Probiotic foods are good, but all foods are good. And I don't put any specialization on probiotic foods over other foods, over fish oils, maybe, as one, or over um, high phytonutrient dense foods. I wouldn't say it's better. You need it all. So that being said, a lot of people they rely on the consumption of a probiotic known food, and then they completely like mind erase like Men in Black, like flash stick themselves all the shit that they've ate the last 4 days before the kimchi or the kombucha or whatever. Um, I love 3 weeks to shredded, feeling great, not hungry. David says, I love 3 weeks to shredded, feeling great and not hungry. That is awesome, David. I appreciate that. How are your gains so far? David is following our 3 weeks to shredded program at thedolcediet.com, the most successful weight loss program world class levels, Olympic levels, world title levels, have a 100% success ratio for over 20 years. Diet principles. No other team, no other system can say that. And we say that proudly. That's all available at thedolcediet.com in a 4 and a 12-week program. You can follow the same basic IP intellectual property that we use on our athletes in a very easy to access mobile phone, tablet, laptop, personal nutrition and exercise program that's tailored to you, to your lifestyle. It's at thedolcediet.com. So that's what David's following, and he's crushing. That's what the other people are talking about when they're in here. And that's available for anybody who needs the plan. You want to follow, just tell me what to eat, show me what to eat, tell me how to train, and let me just do that. And then you can follow ours along. You can go through the 4 weeks, and then you can just live it for the rest of your life and not have to follow another program again, because we're teaching you this is how to feed yourself for the rest of your life. And yeah, by the way, just going to look fucking awesome in the process, but you're going to feel good. You're going to have energy. Your doctor's going to give you a hug and say, my God, you're the healthiest patient I've ever seen walk in here. That's the goal. That's the goal. And the abs come as a bonus. The abs are you're free. That's like the little throw in at the end. Doctor told me my blood pressure is way too high. He wants me to go on meds. Do you know any way I can naturally lower my blood pressure? I'm 41. So, John Smith, number one, you must listen to your doctor. You can get a second opinion from a second doctor, and we always suggest that. I always do that. But you must follow your doctor's advice and always be under medical supervision. This is not medical advice I'm giving you right now. But yes, there are typically many ways that have shown benefit to naturally reducing blood pressure and increasing the other attributes of a healthy lifestyle, right? So there's certain lifestyle things you can do that will help lower your blood pressure or help you be a healthier person. That doesn't mean doing natural things will get you that you don't need to rely on pharmaceuticals and other medical interventions. That's why you must work under your healthy and act healthy. I would strongly suggest you speak with one of our registered dietitians who can then go through your whole file with you and help you come up with the best version of what's known as medical nutrition therapy. That our team can liaise with your medical team, with your doctor and yourself and your family, and make sure everything works. There's no contradictions. Your nutrition completely supports the medical diagnosis and prognosis and plan that your doctor has created, even with regards to pharmaceuticals. And that's important. If you're not working with a registered dietitian and you are consuming pharmaceuticals, doctor prescribed pharmaceuticals, right? Any pharmaceutical, nutrition can have severe contradictions. Improper food selection, improper food timing, too much, too little of certain ingredients can have massive health impact. And do your own research and talk to your doctor about that. That would be my strong suggestion. But we know that there are ways, lifestyle improvement, just de-stressing, not allowing ourselves to get stressed out, has been shown to reduce blood pressure or not allow blood pressure to increase, unexpectedly increase. We could get deeper into that. But really, my strong suggestion is you got to be under that doctor's care. And you got to speak to a registered dietitian on something this specific. I can give general advice, but I don't want to give general advice because you have a specific issue. Keep rocking the reel. Much respect, Mr. Nard the Hard, joining your program soon. I appreciate that. Yeah, that's what we do. You were just telling the truth here. I don't care. Telling the truth. What? What? This is what we think. This is what we've seen to be effective. That's when I talk. Just know I truly have almost 30 years of professional experience at a high level, 13 years old, varsity captain, freshman, 4-year varsity captain of my wrestling team, 4-year varsity wrestler, for what that's worth. But at 13 years old, I'm a captain of a wrestling team that's cutting weight and preparing. And you guys know high wrestling is no fucking joke. Is no fucking joke. So 13 years old, one could say I started my coaching career, my captaining career, my mentoring career. But even before that, which sounds silly, I was 8 years old and I was infatuated with muscle and strength and then nutrition and performance. And that all continued to open up. So when I was 13, I had a very solid understanding. And that's why I was made captain. One of the reasons why was because I understood more than my coaches did, primarily about the periodization and the peaking programs and the right exercise sequences and even time and duration and different energy systems, 15, 45, 90 seconds, 2 minutes or above. Those type of conversation. I was a part of those conversations as a freshman with my coaches who were like post college athletes and then grown men, 30 plus year old men who are already fit and champion wrestlers in their own right. So when I talk now, and I'm just telling you guys, that's just what it's just us chatting, a little background. So when I talk, I mean, I'm coming from that perspective. From all the way then, I was doing this essentially. Just think about it, if that's, and maybe some of you have that type of experience in certain things. Some of you have that experience in video games, right? You've been playing Tomb Raider or Halo for the last 30 years or however long, or Madden, right? Some of you came out with Madden 1. I know that for sure now. How long's Madden been out? 20 years now, maybe? Fuck. Anyway, Mike, how do you feel about CBD being used for recovery? Edwin, there's lot of good information on CBD that I don't refute. And I think, yeah, but I have not seen truly in myself personally or the athletes I work with, I have not seen any identifiable benefit. Even the anecdotal, I usually get, yeah, I think it's working. I've never, not from one. And I'm not saying it's not, and I'm not minimizing. This is just an observation, current observation. And there's a lot of things. Maybe they're not taking the right quantity. Maybe they're not taking the right quality. Maybe they're not keeping up with their frequency schedule, their dosing schedule. Maybe they haven't been taking it long enough for it truly to work its way in. Maybe we don't know enough yet as practitioners and recipients because it's still relatively new, larger picture. But that being said, I haven't seen anybody who says, "Yep, it changed everything." Not one. I get a lot of like, yeah, I think. And even with me, I had a hip issue and I took a lot of the best. I took exactly what I was supposed to be taking of a high quality, well known national company, like everything they're supposed to have. One of the top companies who offers these products. Man, I mean, it didn't get worse. It's kind of like, yeah, it didn't get worse. And all right, I think. So that's my personal. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just giving you my experience so far. That's what it is. But I'm still looking more into it. Christian, I wish you were my dad. I'm your uncle. You can call me Uncle Mike. I'm Uncle Mike. I'm Uncle Mike. And that feels true. I mean, some of you, can be my uncles, aunts and uncles. Tony Shays, I appreciate that, nephew. Tony, Dolce Faras just got Living Lean book. Faras Zahabi just got Living Lean book and says he lost weight and loves some of the recipes. Coach Faras is a man. What a great guy. Athlete, being a coach, being a philosopher, being a student of the world, being a nutrition coach and fitness expert. And I get it. Faras Zahabi hasn't shown me to throw one punch or kick or takedown or move, not one, but being around a gentleman like Faras Zahabi has made me better. I can imagine, I can only imagine what he does for his athletes inside that facility when he's on the mats with them too. I mean, he makes me better sitting in a hotel room, just talking, conversing about a life and thoughts and philosophies in the world. How crazy is that? So that's very, 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 very cool. Very cool. I appreciate that. Peter, also, I'm back on the 3 weeks to shredded. I'm down another 10 pounds. Boom, 3 weeks to shredded, Peter. Peter to shredded, we'll call you. Again, 3 weeks to shredded, thedolcediet.com, right? The same exact IP, same sign, same meal plan, same ingredient list that our world-class athletes use that you have complete access to. And we actually build it, tailor it, personalize it to you based upon our industry-leading sophisticated software, our rule engine, our algorithm, based upon the IP that we've collected for almost 30 years, 20 years at the world-class elite level, collecting data on what works. That's all I've been doing. So everybody's running around trolling and talking smack. All I've been doing is filling marble copybooks of data Data, data. We probably are. We probably have more data. I don't even know. Huh. Interesting. Interesting. So I'm back on 3 weeks to shredded. I'm down another. Just think about that. I mean, like it's so easy to see what works. What works? What works? What foods work? What don't work? Up easy, obvious, obvious, obvious. There's no argument even. Hemp seeds. Only 30 minutes in. That's awesome. I think I got another 5, 10 minutes, 8 minutes, and I will jump. We'll get all these questions in today. TJ Ahern, hemp seeds won't make you pop hot on a government drug test. Most likely, I have to say, TJ. So, you can't say for sure because God forbid, God forbid, God forbid it ever does. Woo! Guess who's in trouble? Not this guy, because hey, you got to follow all the governing laws with which you live, reside, work, contract with. So hemp's not allowed, then whether or not I agree, don't take hemp. Dolce, how many days do you recommend meal prepping out as a single guy? I find it easy to meal prep for most of the week. As a single guy, man, you should be able to meal prep right before your meal for the most part. We typically do like a one big cook on the weekend, usually a Sunday or so, and then one like leftover meal middle of the week, Tuesday, Wednesday or so. What does that mean? That means like we'll make like a few pounds of a meat or a pound or two of a couple different types of meats. We'll hard boil up a dozen eggs. We'll make probably 6 or 8 cups of rice and quinoa cooked. Maybe not quite that many because there's always a little extra. Um, maybe like 4 to 6 cups of like quinoa of rice. We'll bake a few trays of veggies, of just whatever veggies. We'll just throw a few, trays of veggies into the oven. We'll bake those. We'll maybe steam up or boil up a couple others. Throw in a couple potatoes. We'll do that all because you can do that in like a half hour, like 45 minutes. You just throw everything onto the oven. You just kind of cook it, knowing you're going to cook it. And then when we take it, we just put like, all right, all the chicken goes into this big tub. All the, eggs go into this going to be smelly tub. You just have it set up like that. So then when it's time to eat, what do you feel like? I'll grab a little salmon and some quinoa and that the baked or grilled asparagus, baked asparagus, or the baked peppers, fucking just laying there. It's delicious, or whatever. So giving that concept, it makes it very easy to live this lifestyle and eat real foods, and then I can turn those ingredients into almost anything I want. You think about people get kind of butthurt about they want to, I can't, I can't eat the same thing every day, like fucking boo-hoo. But you can take the same ingredients and you can make those into 7 different things. Like our egg, let's say on 3 weeks of shredded, there's an egg meal. That egg meal, which is a couple eggs, it's green pepper, it's red pepper, it's onions, it's mushrooms, it might be asparagus and or broccoli, usually tomato, there's some avocado, there's spinach, mixed in, some sort of, green, usually like a spinach mixed up into it. Sometimes there's a turkey bacon that can be built into it. Sometimes there's some beans, but whatever. So you take that recipe, you can make that so many different ways. You can make that as an omelet. You can make it as a scramble. You can make it as a skillet. You can have some sprouted grain toast and you can make it as a sandwich, like a BLT. You can hard boil the eggs and put it over a salad. Like, so now you have the cold salad, like a Cobb salad. You can make it as a quiche. You can make it as a frittata. You can make it as what we call egg pizza, which is like a bake with the tomatoes over top. That's just off the top of my head without even flipping opening a recipe book to come up with a bunch of others. So you can take this stuff when it comes to meal prepping. Meal prepping is actually just mentally preparing and being aware of what ingredients you have at your exposure. Within 7 minutes, I could eat the exact food I need to from any local source that I can think of, or locally sourcing, even in my facility for the most part. The right foods that I need to be eating, simply because those are the foods, the bulk ingredients that should always be around. Oh, is Squats and Steak going to be just a book or a program like The Living Lean right now? So if you guys don't know, I've mentioned Squats and Steak a few times and I've dragged my feet on it a little bit because we got caught up on some other deadlines and projects. So Squats and Steak is the comprehensive guide to gain 20 pounds of muscle and 200 pounds to your squat in 12 weeks. Now, when I say 20 pounds of muscle, you're probably not going to have 20 pounds of 97% lean grade A filet. You're going to add about 20 pounds to your body, and hopefully a good proportion of that will be muscle. Now, this will depend on how close you are to your genetic limit. I'm just being honest with you. Me, not going to put on 20 pounds of pure muscle. If I put on 8 to 12 pounds of muscle and another 8 to 12 pounds of water and non-functional weight, body fat, I'll take an extra 2 to 3 pounds of water and 4 pounds of body fat to gain 10 pounds of muscle for sure. Some people will put on more. Some people maybe not as much. But the goal, like 3 weeks to shredded, the goal is to lose 21 pounds in 21 days. The goal of squats and steak, and some people will achieve, is to add 20 pounds of muscle and also 200 pounds to your squat in 12 weeks' time. And you do that through a comprehensive staging system. And I'm not going to break it down right now, but there's a very, very structured system you must follow from a training perspective. The percentage, the exercises that you actually use, the percentage of 1 rep max, the number of total repetitions, the frequency, how many times per week are you performing that motion or similar motions. And also, of course, your nutrition, because new muscle tissue has to come from food. The training just stimulates it. And if you're not eating properly, you actually lose muscle. Can't do that. So squats and steak is an exercise, a training. It's a training program. It's a very specific training program and a very specific nutrition philosophy broken out for you of how to do that. And what we say in what I say in the introduction of squats and steak, what I say in the beginning of it is this is the most effective strength and size program you'll ever try, but it's also the hardest. And many people, most people who actually attempt it, they won't finish it because it's that brutal. But those who complete it will be the elite. They will change and transform their body into something that they never, ever thought possible. And that's the beauty of it. So those who do go through squats and steak and they do hit their numbers and they do shake off the little B word and get their ass in there and get it done, life will change. So to answer your question, we're cleaning that up right now. And what we're going to do with squats and steak, we're most likely going to offer it as a digital download because it has interactive capabilities to it that a flat book by itself wouldn't, have been ideal. It'd be kind of a pain in the ass for you guys. Probably easier for us actually, but more of a pain in the ass for you guys. So what we're going to do with squats and steak is we have a limited number that we're actually going to put out, and we're going to pre-sale it for a month, 60 days. And once we hit the number, we cut it, and those are the only people that get it. And then we ship it out. So it's going to be a one-time purchase for a group of people. And then once we put it out there, never again. So then you will have one of the only copies of squats and steak that you can keep for yourself, or you can be a dill hole and share it with your dickhead buddies, but don't share it until you hit your 12 weeks, so get that 12-week jump start on them, because you don't want them to get the program and you not do it or you not finish it. And all of a sudden they leapfrog you. Now you can't get any girl to look at you. It's hard enough getting a girl to look at you right now. But on squats and steak, it's going to be hard to not have people staring at you, because you're going to stand out. You're going to stand out. Wow, a lot more questions just popped up. How many days do you recommend? Answer that. Squats and steak. Hey, Mike, I tried every tip you have to get. I tried every tip you gave to get shredded, but I lost all my muscles. I stopped doing arms at the gym, just compound movements, but now I lose muscles. Patrice, I don't know what you're saying. So ask a more specific question. That will be easy. I tried every tips to give to get shredded. There could be just a little bit of a language barrier here. I stopped doing arms at the gym. I don't understand that. And just compound movements. Hey, Jim Mars. Hey, Dolce. I'm on the Living Lean Gaining Muscle program. How should I go about adding weight to my lifts? And I'm in the Phoenix heat for most of the day. How long will the black pack stay cool? Well, it depends on the heat that you're in. So my black pack is awesome. I keep the 2 ice packs in there. I have an extra ice pack, actually. I'll put it at the bottom. But one at the bottom typically, and then 2 are on the sides to keep it all locked in. It seems to work really well. But time wise, I don't know, and what food is in there. And then you're on Living Lean, gaining muscle. How should I go about adding weight to my lifts? Always add weight. And every time you walk in the gym, you're trying to add weight. You're trying to add weight, but not if you're failing. So if let's say you have to train 5 repetitions. If 4 repetition is really hard and 5 repetition is shitty form, you're not adding weight. You have to do all your repetitions with perfect form. Sure, challenging, but you don't break form, perfect form, and then you jump weight. That's the way you should do it. And you should always be looking to jump weight. Sometimes I'll go in the gym, I'll put collars. The collars weigh like, a quarter of a pound. They weigh like a few ounces, 4 ounces each. I'll put collars on to the damn bar because I'll walk out knowing, well, I did that weight plus 2 collars. I did more with the same or better form. That's a high five. That's progressive overload. That's the way you break it down into the micro. People don't think like that. John Smith, thank you so much for the advice. God bless you, John. I appreciate that. Thank you, Jacob. Hey, Mike, my specialist thinks the DMAA in my pre-workout has ruined the function of my kidneys by 50%. Holy shit. Any tips when it comes to kidney health or cleansing? Jacob, that is insane. And that's something everybody who's taking over-the-counter supplements needs to know and understand. You have to be careful taking anything like that because there's contradictions. Like we said, contradictions. Any tips when it comes to kidney health or cleansing? Jacob, right now, I got to tell you, follow your doctor, follow your doctor's orders, get a second opinion on all things. We always get a second opinion on everything in life. But do what your doctor tells you to do and work with a registered dietitian. We have registered dietitians on staff you can work with. Go to dolcedietshop.com and just get a one-on-one. Outside that, work with any registered dietitian that's qualified to work with you and works in conjunction with your doctor. Very important. Don't mess around. Gene Lucero, Grant Cardone, or Dave Ramsey. Dave Ramsey. I like Grant's content. I like his energy. I like his passion. It's got a lot of Gary V in him. I like Dave's advice better. Dave's advice is more sound. Dave has better advice, especially better advice for the vast majority of the people. And I believe all Dave's advice. I'm not saying I don't believe Grant's advice. Grant gives a lot of concepts and a lot of possible things to do. Dave says this is what you should baby steps follow 1 through, was it 6A or 6B, 1 through 6, just follow, rinse and repeat. Grant has a lot of different strategies he throws out. Some stick, some don't. How many he's actually followed himself, I don't know. He's a great content creator and very successful because he's a successful dude, right? Successful dude. But I think many more people will be successful following Dave Ramsey's advice. Not so much Grant's. Jacob, blood tests every 2 weeks, and they are getting better after stopping the pre-workout garbage. That's crazy. It's what we talk about, right? Get rid of all the supplements. Supplements are crap, man. Brody. Hey, Brody. Brody Scheimer. What's up, Brody? Good to see you. Joseph C. Hey, Dolce was also a high school wrestler in New Jersey. I wrestled for Mattawan. I'm just curious, where did you wrestle in high school, and how did you do in districts, regions, or states? Also, what weight classes? Joseph, I wrestled for St. Rose High School, Catholic school, Monmouth County. So we were familiar with Mattawan. Yeah, you can't say that, guys. I'm blocking you. Sorry about that, guys. This is yeah. This is not for we don't get crazy or political, so no insults, no mean nasty things to say about anybody. You can make fun of me all you want. I don't care. Make fun of me. I got a great sense of humor. Make fun of me, but you can't say things about other people, other groups of people, other types of people, and all that good stuff. Otherwise, we will block you. And if it's bad enough, then we'll have to report you. I try not to report people unless it's like really nasty, dangerous. If it's just stupid, immature, I'll just block you and delete you. But outside of that, we don't. So sorry, cleaning it up. What else? So where was I? Where do you wrestle? So Catholic school. Took second in my district. Blew up my shoulder in my region, in the regions, unfortunately. And that probably made me who I am. And if I went through and continued on into, because I was a scholarship athlete, which was great. Um, Opted not to wrestle, not to continue, not to wrestle in through college, and I really got more onto the coaching side. I feel that if I went through, if I wrestled, if I fulfilled my wrestling career in college, and I was studying clinical nutrition, minor exercise physiology, I would have done that. And I would have stayed at, and I probably would be working a very traditional, more office, like a chiropractor type. I think my office would have been set up because that's the way I envisioned it as a young man at that stage of life. And I'd be working more of a corporate setting, probably successful, hopefully successful because I had that drive, but I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing. I'm very sure of that. I would have a completely different track in life. And I know that because of a series of events that happened after I rehabbed my shoulder, and I went through the 2-year rehab process, and put myself back, almost back together, because we didn't get surgery. I'll do a video actually on that, on the shoulder injury and what we found as part of it. But anyway, life would have been completely different. And I think that the path that I was afforded as a result of that setback, devastating setback, it seemed at the time, but now shit, that, maybe like Bektik and the Darren Elkins fight, that was the launching point into everything that's happened thereafter. And of course, it's easy to look back and say that. Um, but that's the way it is. You think you can go up? Yeah, I did live. Sorry, guys. A lot of get some trolls on here. That's crazy stuff. Can't believe people type the things that they do sometimes. I can't. It's so weird. People actually type these things, these words, these they say these things. And it's like, it's how you which it's not funny. And hopefully it's to be noticed or get a rise or whatever else. But Jesus Christ, people, what's wrong with you? Um, when is the program available? Squats and steak. You guys will know about that soon. Want some Whoa, some stuff is, I don't know what that means. When is squats and steak? There we go. So squats and steak, I wanted to get it out. We'll say July. It might, truly, honestly, guys, squats and steak. Let's say it'll be out by September, which means the pre-order will happen sometime in summer, maybe late July. We'll do the pre-order and we'll get it ready for September, because that's bulk up season anyway. And the way you're going to have to eat and push the weights, you're not going to be wanting to run around partying. Maybe you are, but it'll be hard. You're going to be need 8 to 10 hours of sleep a night. Hey, Mike, a sense of humor. How can I look like Yoel Romero? Werber, you got some work to do. Got some work to do. Um, you think I can go up? Dan, I don't know. Some of this stuff is broken up. Please don't forget the book on science. Mike Lee, you got it, my man. Demolition. I thought the tail end of Square. Sorry, I couldn't. The tail end of Squats and Steak. Cool. Sounds like it'll be out in September. Demolition. You got it exactly. That's exactly what it is. What do you think of Feed Me More Unlimited Entry? I don't know what that is. Hopefully, you're not spamming me. Again, guys and girls, thank you all for being here. This went sideways a little bit with the weirdos popping on. But outside of that, I think there was some great content, especially in the very beginning. The first 8 minutes of the video, that's where all the rant is at, the value is at. Change it up, the change up. What are you going to do to change things up? Let's change it up. You got to change it up. I don't know. If you're watching, leave comments in the comment section, not the live chat right now, but the comment section about this video angle. I don't know if I like the video angle. Maybe you do. Do you like the up look? The up look at my nostrils? How's that? I don't know if I'm digging it, but anyway. YouTube, I appreciate you, and we will be back soon. Until next time, boom. And